And I think the biggest part of active listening that a lot of people don't understand is that they're trying to come up with a response in their head while you're talking. And then you're missing actually a lot of what they're saying. You're listening to Squeeze Lines, where truth stings, laughs heal, and nothing's off limits. I'm Tyler, the daughter.
I'm Robin, the mom. And if life gives you lemons,
we're squeezing limes instead.
So grab a seat, open your mind, and get ready to laugh or cry, because we're not here to play nice.
We're here to get real.
Episode 3. Wow.
Welcome to Squeeze Limes. We're happy to have you.
And we're here to discuss issues of the heart today. So let's talk about relationships.
Okay.
You know, what's going on in the world in relationships right now. I think that active listening is a very big deal, and mirroring and remembering to do so, because I think that really all that matters is that people really want to be heard.
Absolutely.
So repeating what they say makes them feel heard. And then what happens is they talk more, or they're more engaging, or they just feel closer to the person.
Right.
And that's lovely.
I absolutely agree. I think active listening is one of the most important things that you need to do when you're speaking to someone and you're just trying to take in what you're hearing. And I think the biggest part of active listening that a lot of people don't understand is that they're trying to come up with a response in their head while you're talking. And then you're missing actually a lot of what they're saying. So you need to trust the process of listening, and you'll come up with your response when you do, when it's your turn to speak. So
then how do you know your turn?
What do you mean, how do you know your turn?
Meaning you said what I'm hearing you say is that people need to be heard, and that that other people are coming up with an answer, because probably they're defensive, or because they just want to get it out, or they want to just prove a point, but they're not really listening to what's being said. They're already conjuring up, so they're really not getting all the information.
Absolutely.
So did you just feel heard?
I did.
Good.
Thank
See,
you.
it's really that easy.
It is.
Right.
But also easier said than done.
Absolutely.
It's really not.
It's because it's not a normal way of communicating. So what I hear you say, or let me just have clarity. Did you just say, there's so many ways to do that.
Right. And I think that piece is different than active listening. That is reciprocating and trying to clarify what you just heard. In what I understand to be active listening is you are sitting there and truly hearing what the person says versus they're talking, you're coming up with the next thing to say or do or thinking about other things.
Correct. Because if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out and I'm trying to remember what you say, then I'm really not listening either. Because I think that's a bad habit as well. It's like, wait, I have to repeat it, But then you can repeat it in your own words. So what I heard you just say is, or correct me if I'm wrong, but is this what you mean, right?
Kind of.
Okay. Explain more.
So as you're speaking, for example, the things that I try to do and remind myself to do is just hear you and to acknowledge what you say, and to just sometimes I'll nod or I'll say, yeah, like, okay. And
like she's listening.
Yeah. Like I'm reciprocating what you're saying. And then you're saying to take it a step further. And that step further is, I heard you say, or let me just clarify, or is this what you were saying, or is this what you mean?
Right. Right. Just repeating like what you think in your own words.
Yeah.
And then either the person's going to say, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
And then you can answer, right? Or no, that's not really what I meant. You can't understand what another person is digesting in their head when you're having a conversation.
Right. All perceptions are different, and everyone has a different perspective on everything in life, from their family history, from their own history, their experiences, all senses.
Right.
I mean, you can go through the same exact experience as someone and come out with a completely different opinion, belief, perspective of what happened.
You can have 3 people in the same room. One person's telling a story, and there's 3 different stories. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that's how our brains work.
Right.
That's why communication and checking in and saying, is this what you meant? Or what I'm hearing you say is, and then you're crystal clear. So I I know many people talk to their young kids or they talk to their employees and they say, this is what I need from you, A, B, C, D. And if they don't clarify, then it might be done wrong. So if I'm talking to an employee, I would ask them, can you just repeat what I just said? You know, what's really great is servers do that all the time. They take the order, they're like, so this is what I have. And that's a good server because you really have to clarify that is just how your order is going to be correct. That's how your communication is going to be correct.
Right. And I think that goes through all relationships. It's so important to have your relationship be the pinnacle of communication, because when your communication is solid and you're understanding each other and you're able to speak what's on your mind and be heard and understood and respected for what's on your mind,
right,
then that's the basis of a very strong and healthy relationship.
Right. I agree fully. Right. Respected. You know, I often think you could be crazy and you could tell me a story that's like, and you're hanging off the ceiling and telling me, but I'm still going to respect the time that you're going to be talking to me up there because that's your truth. It's your way. And when you have judgment that comes into play, even, you know, if I can be like, she's crazy, she's like off her rocker right now, then I'm not listening to anything you're saying. I'm just actually trying to help you in a different way that you didn't even need.
Right. And I think a really good thing that I've learned over the years is if I'm, you know, venting to someone and I need help doing XYZ, then I'm going to say, like, can you please help me? Can you help me problem solve this? Can you, you know, you're asking for what you need. But if I'm venting and I just want to be there to vent,
you say so. You should say so, right?
Then you should say
Preface.
so. Or if you're on the other side, like if you're listening to someone vent, then you say, do you want me to help you or do you want me to listen?
Well, that's the great thing to do. I know I'm not great at doing that because I'm not supposed to be doing that in my office, but I use that in my life, which does not work. So it would be great if that meaning I will just go in to what they're saying. I'll repeat it. I'll get it down and then we'll talk about it. But they're there for a different reason. So that's why I always think like prefacing is better. If you say, I need to vent, I need to talk about something. It's going to bother you that I'm going to talk about it, but just please listen. I don't want you to fix it. I don't want an opinion. I don't want you to solve it. I don't want anything. I just want you to listen to me and then and then thank you. Right. And I'll let you know when I'm done.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes people don't even know if they want help or just want to vent. So it's okay to just be like, I don't know what I need right now.
Right.
But let me just get this out.
Right.
And then we can talk about it.
Yeah. I like the second part of what you said. And that is, what did you say? Like, do you need feedback now? Like if you just vent and you just need to go. That is a beautiful thing to say, be able to say, what do you need from me right now? Do you want a suggestion? Yes. Do you want me to shut up? Are you done? Are you complete?
Right. It's just more of, and I say this a lot to, you know, the people that vent to me. Do you need my help or do you want me to listen?
I love that. I think that's a beautiful way of communicating.
Yeah.
Because then it's just, you are offering whatever they need.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. And I think a lot of people, especially people like you and I, who are such helpers, and we always want to fix things and we want people to be better and happy and, you know, healthy and all these things. I think we always try to jump in and just help. And I think it's so important to meet someone else where they're at.
100%. 100%. Good job. I like that.
Thanks.
Thank you. I love that.
And I think that's, you know, even talking about relationships, my husband and I do that all the time, where we need to just get something off of our chest. And, you know, whether it's something that happened at work or with our friends or with each other, our families, whatever it is, we always have that check-in of, do you need help or do you want me to just listen? And it's okay also to change your mind.
Absolutely. Right.
I think that's so important, is like, that's something that you say doesn't have to be, you know, engraved in stone.
Right.
It can change however you adjust and be flexible in your life and in your communication and your relationships. It's so important to just think about what you need and ask for it.
And then be present.
Yeah.
And really being present, I think, is the hardest part of who we are as individuals today in this world.
Right.
There's so much.
There's so much. And I think we kind of touched on this of just social media and how that's an addiction and how people are glued to their phones because they have to see what else is happening in the world. And I could be the first one to admit, like, I'm guilty of it. I sit on my phone, I'm staring at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what happened like in the last 10 minutes.
Right,
because
at all.
it just, my mind is just reeling on what I'm seeing, and it just captures you. You know, the algorithm feeds you what you want.
Absolutely. And you know what really startled me and really made me at least think twice and be a little more present is when you pick up your phone, you stop talking, right? So if you are in a whatever, you're at a picnic or I don't know, if you're in someone's house and all of a sudden like your phone rings and you have to get it or you have a text, you're gone. You are silent. So if a young child is near you and things are going on and there's communication and we're talking about something and there's a text and I pick it up, I am silent. I am not talking and reading. I am silent or I'm not playing and I'm reading. And they hear the silence and the playtime stops. And for that bothered me the most. I'm like, why is it so quiet? And it just like got to me but that's for everybody. But when a child is there, that was the most telling of what happens. Like we shut it down fully.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And everyone around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of like the biggest things in our world today is raising a child. You are wanting to teach them how to be present and how to be here and now and play and socialize. But then all of a sudden you pick up this box, they don't know what it is. They don't know what you're doing. And you're tuned
mesmerized
into this.
And then they want to know what that is. So they're more interested in something they have no idea because you're
into it.
You're into it, right? I mean, I can look at a text and then pop open an email and then I'm lost in looking at something that wasn't the reason why I picked up my phone in the first place.
Right. Exactly.
And so that's so sad. And so I've been monitoring my time on, and it's kind of sad, like the average time. So I'm in a challenge for myself to get it down.
That's amazing.
It is. It's
good for you.
It's weird. And I never really thought about that it would affect me, but the amount of hours that I'm actively on for the 24-hour period of time is, I can't even believe it.
That's a lot.
Yes.
It's sad because, you know, I've learned people around me do it all the time. I'm sure I do it too. You know, when you're in the middle of a conversation or you're in the middle of just hanging out together, you're just together and someone picks up their phone. And so what I've learned to do is if I'm in the middle of saying something, I've learned to stop myself, let them have their moment. And then when they look back at me,
well, because it's silent,
I'll continue.
Right. Exactly.
Because I know that they're not listening and I don't
why would you continue?
Sit there and repeat myself.
Right.
I don't want to sit there and just be like,
well, you're not going to say hello. Right. Exactly.
You know, and I have before.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And it's definitely one of my biggest pet peeves, I will say, when I'm in the middle of a conversation and someone picks up their phone and
it's rude. It's very rude. And I know that I've done it it's like such a bad habit, and habits are things that you don't even know you're doing and you are repetitive.
Right.
And so it's sad actually.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've learned is to help with that habit and things that I try to do is, you know, let's say we're out eating somewhere and we're having conversation at the dinner table. I will never have my phone on the table itself. I think that is one of the biggest unspoken communication to the other person,
right,
that you're not fully present.
This is going to be right here. It's going to be right here at the table.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Right. So I always put it away in my bag. I sit on it.
That's a good idea.
It's not in between the person and myself.
Right.
Because it is a nonverbal communication of
importance.
You're not the most important thing right now. Whatever is going to pop up on my phone is much more important.
Right.
And so I always, for myself and to respect those that I'm around, will have it put away. And especially I always try to flip it over.
Oh yeah. I don't keep it up. Yeah. First of all, I can't, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's so easy to do at work, right? Because I can't look at my phone. Right. I can't answer my phone. It's on silent. It's flipped over.
Right.
And if I have client after client, I am sometimes not looking at my phone for hours at a time. And that happened when you went into labor, and I was going back to back for a long time. It was like 13 hours, but it was the first 3, and I had no idea. And then 96 calls later when I picked it up, thank God my next client was late, because I then looked at it and
I was like, hello, the one day you're not answering your phone.
Right, exactly. But the habit of doing that at work is not a habit. That's a must. I could do that anywhere.
Yeah.
I also take crisis calls. So there are times that I will then say, hey, have a client in crisis, or something is going on and I just need to have it here. But it doesn't have to be in my face. It can be like that it vibrates and then I have to look at it. But I will say I'm really sorry in advance, but I'm concerned.
And I think that's a fantastic thing to communicate, because you're setting the expectation, giving them an understanding and a reason as to why your phone is out and why it's next to you or in front of you or whatever it is. Right. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. The communication of people in relationships, any kind of relationship, is based on understanding, listening, being present, and repeating to get clarification.
Yeah. And expressing yourself.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I think that if you're afraid to share with whoever the other person is how you're feeling and you always stuff it down, it's going to build, and you're the only person that it's hurting.
What do you mean?
When you have a problem with someone and you don't express it.
Oh, you mean you're not trying to resolve?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Resolution is the key for sure.
Yeah.
The key, or you're right. You're holding it.
And for myself, I used to think like, oh, if I just let it go, it'll just go away and it's fine. And I realized that it festers and it grows, and small problems become really big problems.
Yeah.
And I've learned that I need to, again, communicate and say, hey, you know what, this hurt me and I just want to let you know. Right. You don't have to solve it right now. You don't have to fix it, but I just want you to know how I'm feeling. And it feels so much better when you do that.
Right.
It really takes a load off. And I think when you phrase it in a way that is not, it's all attacking about you.
Right.
Yeah.
I statements
saying like, I feel this way because of what happened at this situation.
That's how the other person can hear it. Because once you start a conversation with you, you're done. Their dukes are up. They're already ready
when
to
go. When you're saying like, you did this and you did that.
When you said this and you did this and you're doing you're pointing fingers. Like, what are you doing? How do you feel about it? I felt bad. I felt hurt. I felt sad when this happened. It makes a big difference, because then people lean into the conversation.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's huge.
That is the number one most important thing, right? It's just being respectful and being a good listener and not interrupting.
It's all about active listening.
Right.
Being present.
Right.
Because if you interrupt, then you're communicating what's already happening in your mind or what.
Well, unless you want clarification, like I will do that at work. I have to do that. But I also preface it.
If you're
I say, I'm going to be a little like hyper right now, and I'm going to, I need clarification.
There's a difference between clarification and there's a difference between finishing that person's sentence, what you thought they were going to say.
Oh, no, I can't do that. I mean, I'm talking about at work. No,
I'm saying in general.
Oh, okay. Like helping them out.
Yeah. If you're going to finish my thought or my.
Right. It's impossible. It's not real.
It's not real. And then most of the time you mess it up.
Right.
Because that's not where I was heading.
Because I don't know what's going on in your brain or anyone. No one does.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think it's important, if you're going to interrupt, absolutely, for clarification, be like, wait. Is this what you meant, or is this what happened? Or
exactly.
You ask questions.
Absolutely.
But if you're going to interrupt and go off on a tangent on something else, or interrupt and make a connection that just popped into your brain.
That's the thing that people I find do all the time.
All the time.
Like I'm sharing an issue with someone and they're telling me about their issue.
Yes.
Like that happened to me, or I had that, or I had that car, or I remember when I was 10 and this happened. I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to share something that I need help with, or I need an ear.
Yes.
And they're telling me about their life all of a sudden. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Be sure to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a good squeeze.
Of course, everybody needs one.
See you next time on Squeeze Live.